Hello, everybody. It's another episode of the Uncanny Spirits Club. I'm just about, as of this recording, almost completely over my cold. I just have a little bit of sinus drainage left, light cough. So I'm going to try to get through without as much coughs as I can here. Um, I've got something different that I don't usually do, just because I don't know. I haven't really gotten into too many of these. I've only reviewed a few of them. And by a few, I think maybe two, honestly probably only one. So this is a second one for the first time. Um, I picked this out because certain members of my household like to watch videos of Irish people trying things, and mostly they like to watch them trying alcohols.
Yes.
And so we saw a brand there that was really interesting. And I said, well, we'll look at the grocery store and see if they have any of those. And we found one of the brands. And they had two kinds. They had the original, which we were initially going to be picked, and then they had this kind, which was super interesting. And it's going to be a little bit of in-depth stuff because there's a lot to it. I got to tell you the various infusions and stuff. But this is Drumshanbo, Drumshanbo with Sardinian Citrus gunpowder Irish gin with natural flavors. Now, you might notice that the video doesn't call it gunpowder up at the top in the title because I didn't want YouTube to be weird about it. I know we said gunpowder now like probably 4 or 5 times since the video started, but I didn't want them to see the title and instantly be like, oh, never going to monetize that in the future ever again. So, bloop. So, because anything with the letters G, U, N at the beginning is usually a touchy subject these days.
Green tea.
But this, I haven't got that far. Hold on.
Okay.
But it's an Irish gin, of course, and what makes this different? Now it comes in the green bottle and the blue bottle that I know of. The blue bottle is an original. It's made with gunpowder tea. Gunpowder is a kind of tea. It's what like a green tea,
It's a matcha. Yep.
like a gunpowder green, and that's why you have a little bit of the Asian over there because they source it. And this particular one is different from the original because it has Sardinian citrus. So it has It's distilled with Oriental botanicals, gunpowder tea, and a hint of Sardinian citrus. Um, it is 86 proof, so solid for a gin. This was $34.99 at my grocery store. The gins, for the most part, tend to be relatively affordable, from what I've noticed. So that's a pretty solid price, assuming that it's worth the taste. Has all the stuff about being product of Ireland on the back, and it came with a little tag, of course, that tells you a story inside. And I'm not going to read the whole story, but it tells you how to do its signature serve. You're supposed to serve it with chilled premium tonic, and it gives you the proportions. And of the botanicals, it's got, of course, the juniper, angelica root, and some of the standard ones. But this one also has the Sardinian citrus, grapefruit, lime, and gunpowder tea, and they've been vapor infused. I don't know what that means, but it's interesting. So it's cool stuff. I'm looking forward to trying it. I'm not a huge gin person. I've had the Botanist. I keep a bottle of the Botanist in the house, to be honest, for various cocktails and things like martinis. Very rarely. I'm not really a huge martini man, but once in a while, you know. And then
You tried the
just for
Def
different
Leppard
things.
gin?
Yeah, we've tried Def Leppard's gin. So I have tried more than one gin. I've tried this and the Def Leppard gin, which is also on this channel. If you go back through the playlist, you'll
There
be
are
able
two
to
of them.
find it. We compared the both of them, I think. So, and if I'd have thought about it, I would have chilled this first in retrospect. And the more I think about it, I'm like, oh, probably should have. But too late. So it's going to be room temperature. Um, Solid cork pop.
You have to show them the cute little
Um,
copper on the cork too. It's pretty.
the cork is synthetic. No obvious indication that it's trying to be organic at all, no little striations or anything like that. It's got a little copper band around it that tells you the brand. And it's gunpowder gin, so that's kind of cool. Don't mind my fingernails. I haven't really cleaned my fingernails today. So if you're grossed out by dirty fingernails, I guess you're grossed out at this point. I got to get under there and clean them out. So yeah, it's I smell the juniper. It smells lemony like a gin.
Ooh.
I'm gonna let you pour yours, and then I'm gonna pour mine. I'm not gonna add any water or anything to it because I don't know how. Gin's like a tricky subject as far as that kind of thing goes. I don't want to add something that might change it fundamentally, as opposed to like a whiskey or a bourbon, where you know if you add a couple drops, it just helps the whole process along a little bit. With the gin, if I'm gonna just try it for the first time, I'd rather just try it straight and see how it is, and then do mixes with it later, well, after I've had that initial bit. So I'm not gonna go crazy with it. I'm just gonna have a little smidge, just a small glass worth. Some people take their lives into their own hands, clearly, but I'm using my new Healy Crest glasses. So if you have not watched that video, that's a couple down on the playlist as well. And feel free to contact Healy Glass Artistry on Facebook for your cut glass needs. So 86 proof Drumshanbo gunpowder with Sardinian citrus. We're going to see how this treats us.
Oh, that is good. That's lemony.
It definitely has a hefty citrus note. It's a heater too. The heat just blooms right here in the chest. It's only 86 proof. It's not out of control, but it definitely heats you up. Now, this is going to sound like a knock against it. I don't want to scare anybody off, but that initial taste also, for some reason, reminded me as a kid and drinking bath water.
What?
Just a little. Like it had a soapiness, like a bit of a soapiness to it. And that kind of faded away, though. It's settling nicer. It is also settling kind of bitter at the back. And part of that also might be due to just the way my sinuses are lately. My sense of taste may not be 100% back to where it's supposed to be. But
it's because it's made with flowers, and soap is made with flowers.
And but I don't mean that to be like it tastes awful, it tastes like soap water. It reminds me of that on that initial taste. I think if I were to mix this with just the right thing, or the tonic water or something like that, I think that feeling would go away. I don't think that's something that, and it doesn't spoil it for me. For a $35 gin, stacked up against the other gins that I've tried, the Botanist is, I believe, $39.99. Pardon me. The Def Leppard gins, since they're celebrity branded, were both $60 a piece. So, oh no, they weren't. No, they weren't. I'm lying. They were cheaper. They were $30 a piece because I got them for like $60 plus some shipping. So it seemed like they were more expensive because of shipping.
They were a 2-pack though. So.
But yeah, it was like a bundle deal. So don't make me like tell you the wrong information there. I'm lying to you. I believe they were cheaper than that. They were like 30-ish. They might be more now. It's hard to say, and maybe I've looked at them recently and seen the price go up. I don't know. Something must have lodged in my brain. I feel like they should have been more expensive because they were celebrity branded, but they weren't. It was just the shipping. So this fits well alongside the other ones that I've tried as far as price point, I think. Gin's kind of a tricky area for price because every one of them is a little bit different depending on what botanicals you use, and it's hard to put a price on the uniqueness. it's tempting just to be like, oh, this one tastes much better than the other one, so it should be more expensive. But that's all personal preference, because you might like the botanicals in one and not like the botanicals in another. Pardon me. In a future video, I'm going to try a couple of the leading gins on the market, like Hendrix is one, Bombay Sapphire is one that always comes up as like one of the top ones that isn't like a specific, family gin and things like that.
And the bottle is pretty.
I have wanted to always try High Clear gin, because it's produced by the familial estate in the UK of Lord Carnarvon, who was one of the people involved in opening the pyramids of Tutankhamun. So I follow them on Facebook, and you can't get it here in this area. I've looked many times, but I've always wanted to try it, just because it's one of those curiosity things as a history interested person. But because the current lord of the current, I don't think they call him the current Lord Carnarvon. I think they call him Lord something or other, is the guy who oversees the production of it, which is kind of interesting. Even though that kind of stuff doesn't matter now in this day and age, lords and ladies, whatever, it's still interesting for historical purposes. But I'm going to get a couple other gins and do some more comparisons based on different prices and see if I can figure out what makes one more than another that isn't the botanicals. Let me take another sip of this.
This one's my favorite gin so far of all that I've tried. But I love lemon.
And I'm still getting that soapiness. I'm still getting a little soapiness, but that could definitely be because of the florals in it. I don't get that from the Botanist, but the Botanist is very heavy on the lemongrass. Like, lemongrass is a foundation of the Botanist. And that's made a slightly different way than some other gins, because it's made by Bruichladdich, who follow some different processes than other people as far as how they make all their different products. So they might not be a traditional gin, to be honest. They might be kind of an outlier, and this might be closer to what gin should be. I don't know enough about gin.
Now, I thought one of the Dove Leopard gins tasted a little more soapy because it had more lavender in it, and I equate lavender with soap.
And some people may do that. It did taste a little bit more like sanitary, like a cleaner,
like a shampoo.
But I didn't get quite the same impression as this, like the soapy bath water. And I mean soapy, like clean bath water, not bath water that somebody's been soaking in for a while. So it's not like, oh, it tastes like dirty bath water. It's not dirty bath water. It is clean, fresh, soapy bath water. There's a distinction.
I don't get bath water at all. I get deliciousness.
But yeah, so there's that. It's not bad. I think you could make some pretty decent gin and tonics and maybe some decent martinis if you're into gin martinis with this. I need to get more vermouth. I should have bought some more vermouth today, and I didn't think of it.
But the bottle is pretty. Show me the bottle. Super pretty.
But this was the Drumshanbo with Sardinian Citrus, gunpowder, Irish gin, natural flavors. And you can get it in this, or you can get it in the blue bottle, which is the standard without the citrus. Both of them made with gunpowder green tea, and they're both the same price. They were both $34.99. So you could pick either one. I saw them both, and I was just like, But I picked this one more because she likes green. So I picked the green bottle. I'll get the blue bottle next time, and we're going to test the original. And then, like I said, maybe I'll get some Bombay Sapphires or various others and do some comparisons long term and see where we can go with that. So $34.99 in my local grocery stores here in Ohio. Your prices, of course, may vary based on tax and everything else. And yeah, fairly solid gin that'll warm you right up on a cold day. And that's what I got for you. So I'll see you folks next time. As always, cheers.